That's right. He's in the wheelchair and I'm blind. That's right. Now y'all better take care of us. Where you want to go? Okay.
Hey, how are you? Wow.
Button, Daddy.
Oh yeah.
Put it on for me.
You don't want to.
Got it.
Come on here.
Yeah, right.
How are you, sir? Yes, sir.
Lord of all elders, behold, greetings. There's much talk going on, and I'm glad to see you.
40 books. 40 books. More now.
70, but
70.
but I am
70 books.
but I'm still trying to catch up with you.
Oh, come on.
That's the thing. I love you, man.
70
So I'm so happy.
Where's Head down.
All right, folks,
There you
we
go.
are on time, and we're going to get started. And this is the agenda. Birthday boy, how are you today,
All right, sir.
Good seeing you, looking well.
Oh, fine.
All right.
Good.
Quickly, this is the agenda. We're going to assemble in the courtyard. We already did. That was number one. Number two is coming up now. We're going to go into the SRC office, and Dr. Robinson will have a copy of the original that Seal is going to give him, the original of the letter. So the order is this. Number one, we assembled outside. That was already done. Number two, we're about to go to room or suite 101. When we get to suite 101, I'm supposed to ask for Chairman Pedros Ramos, but he might not be in. If he's not in, we're asking for his secretary, Nicole Charles. And if she's not there, we're asking for her secretary, Denise. So we got three people we can potentially ask for. So again, assemble in the courtyard, that was done. We're now going to go to suite 101. Once we finish there, Dr. Robinson is going to lead us out into the courtyard. Once we get out into the courtyard, everybody will get a copy of the letter that Dr. Robinson has here. We'll then have Dr. Molefe Asante say a few words about Afrocentricity. We're then going to present a gift to Dr. Robinson, and then Dr. Robinson will say a few words about infusion, and I'll wrap things up with a few final words. So now we're on our way to room 101. Anybody know where 101 is?
It's on the first floor. It's on the first floor, Mike.
I was going to take you right to the reception.
Hello. Denise. Oh,
How are you?
Good to see you.
It's so wonderful to see you.
I'm telling you.
You look
It's
wonderful.
like 94 today.
And actually, we were told to ask for Chairman Ramos. If he's not in, his secretary, Nicole Charles.
She's not here. She's deputy chief of staff.
What about Denise? You're
She's
How
in
are you
it.
today?
Yeah.
All right.
She's my friend. Denise.
Sorry. We go way back.
Can we
right
get
back
you
to
down, please?
Robinson?
Yeah.
Can you hold off just a second until the group comes in? Can everybody come in? Thank you very much. And at this point, and for posterity, what time is exactly 2:15 p.m. on the 94th birthday of Dr. Edward Robinson. He is presenting to the chairman of the School Reform Commission, Chairman Pedros Ramos, who is not present today. However, a representative of him, Ms. Denise, who's a nice lady who actually knows Dr. Robinson, will accept the letters who are addressed to Chairman Ramos, Member Lorene Carey, Member Joseph Dworetsky, Member Feather Houston, Member Wendell Pritchett, all of the School Reform Commission. Dr. Robinson, can you do the honors by delivering that letter?
Very important letter. It's going to change the world.
Thank you.
Can we give Dr. Robinson a round of applause? All right, now Dr. Robinson will lead us outside to the courtyard and we'll have a few words.
Hotel. You know, it's good. You can see our leader knows everything about this. And I'm just delighted that Michael has let me say a few words on the birthday of one of the great heroes of black people in the world. I am delighted to be here in the honor of Dr. Edward Robinson, a man whose photograph really should be in this building.
That's right.
And I just want to say to you today that the work that he started, we will continue that work. We have to finish that work. There's no reason why this school district in Philadelphia, with a majority of African American children, should not have the infusion of African American and African content in the classroom. Every grade level, every subject should be infused with Afrocentricity. And so we are all in agreement with that, and we will work for that and continue to work for that. And I just want to say to ATTAC that this is wonderful that ATTAC is here, and we celebrate you, Dr. Robinson. We honor you. All praises to your work.
Let's give Dr. Molefe Asante a big round of applause. What we want to make sure we do is that everybody get a copy of this 3-page letter. The letter explains exactly what it is we're trying to do. It's not as if we're trying to get an Afro-American history course. We're not trying to talk about slavery. We're talking about the beginning of humankind, the beginning of civilization, straight out of Africa. And it's about infusion, which means when they read about European history, they have to read about African history. When they read about Asian history, they have to read about African history. The clock begins with Africa. We're going to keep things moving before we hear from our guest, our preeminent guest, Dr. Robinson. We have a card we want to present to Dr. Robinson, and can we do that now?
See him? Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Can you hold this, read that? In fact, I'll read it since I have the megaphone here. This card to Dr. Robinson says, "You are special, precious things are hard to find, and valued things are few. Treasured things are one of a kind." And then on the inside, "That's why there's only one of you. Have a very happy birthday to our esteemed ex officio historian." And those who don't know what ex officio it means by virtue of your office. In other words, simply because he's Dr. Robinson, he's our historian. From your ATTAC family, today's date, April 24, 2012, the 94th birthday. I really believe it's like 62, but he said 94th birthday of Dr. Edward Robinson. Let's give him a big round of applause. And at this point, we're going to hear a few words from Dr. Robinson about infusion. In fact, we can hold that here. We'll give it to his wife. About infusion, I mentioned generally why we're here and what we're trying to do, but this letter is something you definitely need to read. It's 3 pages of documented research, summarized documented research from Dr. Ed Robinson. Without further ado, the birthday boy, Dr. Edward Robinson.
My beautiful people, I want you to understand very clearly what infusion, African infusion means. I brought with me one of 17 books which I had infused.
Please keep it down.
I had 9 history books and 8 mathematics and science books. Page by page, chapter by chapter, I put into each page and each chapter the African contribution relevant to that particular chapter. You understand? Now, I did this for grades kindergarten through 8th grade. It was presented to the school district. The school district not only accepted what I had written, but paid me. Paid me. Now, the school district, for some reason, said they lost all this immense work that took me 8 months to do, that they don't know anything about it. It was supposed to be written up in 17 books for all our children. It'll do 3 things. It'll raise all the black children's marks will go up when they read this. Their behavior will become excellent, and they will have the respect of all other races. They are the 3 things which I aim for. Thank you very much for coming here today. Peace be to you.
What we want to do at this point in terms of our next step is we gave the School Reform Commission 30 days from today to provide a response. And if they don't provide a response, we already have our plan B involved. We don't really want to disclose it now, but I can say we've spoken to attorneys, we spoke to organizations, we spoke to activists. So our next step will be not only seeking the support of the court of public opinion, but also potentially a lawsuit in a court of law consistent with what they did in 1954 with the Brown versus Board of Education. So we have the activists on the outside, the lawyers on the inside, but most important, give yourselves a big round of applause for coming out of here in the middle of the day to support this effort. And the final thing I want to say is this. You need to understand, I'm so glad we have some professional camera folks here, because today is absolutely historic. What ATTACK did on December 15, 2010 with the Slavery Memorial was a great accomplishment. But like Dr. Robinson says, slavery is noontime on our clock. Before noontime comes midnight. We weren't born as slaves. We weren't born in America. We were the first human beings on the planet 200,000 years ago in the Nile Valley region of East Africa. No disrespect to the Europeans, but they didn't come until 70,000 years ago. So Africans had a 130,000 year jump on civilization, on science, on medicine. That's why we created algebra and geometry and mathematics and all the great intellectual pursuits. The sad thing is this. We shouldn't need an Afrocentric infusion course. It should be as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. But this is America, so we have to fight for everything. And the final thing I want to say is this. You've made history. Just think about how much Dr. Edward Robinson knows about African history. Think about how much Dr. Molefi Asante knows about African history. Your children.
70 books.
Absolutely. 70 books. Dr. Molefi Asante. And by the way, let me say this about Dr. Asante. Here we have Dr. Ed Robinson with the infusion course that was already submitted to the school district for grades K through 8. But we didn't stop there. After that, Dr. Molefi Asante put together a program for grades 9 through 12.
Right.
So let's give both of these intellectual giants a big round of applause. And finally, the most important thing I want to say about your participation is, with all the intellectual information that Dr. Ed Robinson has and Dr. Molefi Asante has, think about it. Once their information is infused into the official school curriculum, your children will know as much. Your grandchildren will know as much. Your great-grandchildren will know about our ancestors like European students know about Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin and George Washington. I don't begrudge them for that. They should do that. But we don't have to. We can find out who our great heroes were. And it's not just our great heroes, it's the world's great heroes coming out of Africa. Give yourselves a round of applause for making history today. And we will be in touch with everybody for round 2. Round 2 will be to ratchet up the pressure through more demonstrations, maybe even civil disobedience. Anybody out here with no criminal record might want to get arrested, and I will be happy to represent them free of charge. In addition, we have our lawyers. So once again, today, history was made. This is the first step toward the revolution for black power, actually African power, in the school district. Give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you all for coming.
All right. Hey, good crowd.